smiling because he's going to come down safely. So if you're an average skier, which way do you want to go on this mountain?
Left.
You want to ski left. So it's skewed left. If you're a tremendous skier, then this analogy will pass you by. Won't help you. So this is called skewed left, and we can call it skied left. Skied left to recall which way this is skewed. So this is skewed left, and that's how we remember which skew it is. Another way to talk about shape is called how many peaks it has. So this graph has one peak, even though it's skewed, and so we call that unimodal. Unimodal is one peak.
Is that the center?
Pardon?
That goes with the shape or the center?
No, it just means that it peaks.
How many peaks does our graph have?
Like if another section had the same amount of dots as 3, it would peak in 2 places. Like the peak would be.
But is that including shape or center?
We're still in shape.
Okay.
What would you call one with more than one peak?
Alright, bimodal.
Okay,
If it's 2, trimodal, and then multimodal. So, if it has 2 peaks, like if our distribution doesn't, but if you have a distribution that looks like this, it's bimodal, trimodal would follow, and then multimodal, many peaks.
And then if it was like 3 and 4 were next to each other and they were the same amount, would that be unimodal or bimodal?
That would be 1.
Okay.
Alright.
Car.
We'll practice these so you'll get the gist of it. One peak is a common and bimodal. We don't usually go into tri and multimodal. And when we look at modes, we are looking at the overall effect. So like if you have one little spot, like suppose this went up like 1, that's probably not bimodal. So it's kind of, that's why stat is a brat, because there's a lot of things that you kind of have to guess at. So this would probably still be unimodal. So
it's not a peak.
So yeah, it's not, it could be considered like you went like that. But you don't look for tiny deviations. You don't look at tiny deviations. So what's tiny? So that's the question. You'll get good at, we'll practice some and you'll get good at them. That's all I can say. All right, let's go on to, since we're doing socks, we'll go on to outliers. Outliers are points beyond the overall pattern. So in this one, like if there had been one time where they lost the ball like 8 times
Is this
or something.
how many times in each game? Like game 1.
Each game.
So like they had.
Like if they had an 8.
They had 5 games where they turned over 3 times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
The Raiders were really bad, and at this time they were Raiders.
They
were
didn't
really
make the
bad.
For example, if they had all these grouped together,
it's not 2017.
from 0 to 4, they're all grouped together, but they had one game where they had 8, that would be an outlier. And I will actually give you a mathematical, eventually, in one of these chapters, you will not guess any longer whether it's an outlier or not. Right now it's just a guess. If an outlier will be points on either side beyond the rest of the points grouping.
What if it was a bogey?
So for this graph, there's no, the one we just did, there's no outliers.
Right.
Okay.
So this is an imposter.
We said it was unimodal, right?
Alright.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so this one is none. For this particular graph, there's no outliers. You'll look at some later today where there are. Alright, Dan?
Would it be considered an outlier if there was a dot on 6?
Yeah, that's the question, which is pretty much at this point your opinion. So, but I will eventually give you some math. I'll actually do some math that day. I will just, and you'll be able to tell for sure whether it's an outlier or not, but not today. All right, let's go to center. Center, there are 3 ways to find the center, and I'm running out of room here. At least let me change colors. It is mean, median, and mode. Mean, median, and mode.
Percenter.
Percenter. So let me describe each one. The mean is just another word for the average. And that's where you add up all the values. Add values, divide by number of values. So let's find out, without the 8, I took the 8 back. Let's count all the values up. So we're adding 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 4. So add those up and tell me what number you get before we divide. So we can bounce the number off of each other.
The unimodal part, that was part of shape.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. Why don't you try working with this in class? And okay, you keep this beside you if you get stuck. Alright, so hit on, and then let's clear
Divided by
that. So
5.
hit the blue, and where's clear? Clear.
There's
Now
6
sometimes
3s. 1, 2,
you have to
3.
go to the sometimes I
It's a
haven't
joke,
quite
it's a
figured
joke.
out how to click it. But something to do with that.
Okay.
Alright, now
Sounds
let's
like
put in,
fun.
you can do your additions now. 0,
Plus 4.
and I'm in scratch pad. Like when I go to, when I open it up on the home menu, no, not that one.
You are
Here, this is
correct,
where I
it is
open it up.
33.
That
Divided by
is,
5, which is
if you hit it again, it'll go to
Divided by
scratch
5.
pad. Alright,
Okay.
so try that in class, so you can use it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And
I'm so
just
stupid.
raise your hand. Alright, what they add up
1,
to?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
33,
9, 10,
confirm?
11, 12, 13,
Confirm.
14, 15,
Okay, so
16.
33, and,
Average of 2.1.
alright, so we have to count that as a possibility, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there were 5, no.
No,
We're
it's the number
dividing
by
by,
dots. See, that's what I
we're dividing by the number of
did.
numbers that were in it, so there was 16, I'm sorry. So divide by the number of, what did she say, number of points? I don't know.
Number of dots.
Alright, whatever you want to say. So what's 33 divided by 16? 2 point what?
Oh, 6.
06, 2.1, I'll take. Alright, so that's the average. So I'll put a little thing here, and that's the average. I'll call it little m for
Wait.
mean.
I'm sorry.
2.1. Yeah.
What was the values you added?
I added the number of points there were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 16.
Divided by what?
There's
The
2.
number of numbers for the number of points, so the number of
Number.
values.
So divided by 4.
No,
No,
there's
there are
not- okay.
16 points.
Okay.
That's the number you divide by.
But
Then what's the
number on-
values?
The number on top is like there's 2 zeros, so it's 0 plus 0, and then there's 3
told-
ones,
well,
plus
let's
1
switch
plus 1
it to
plus
num.
1.
Oh, okay.
Add the values
You're doing
and then
average.
divide by the number of points.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, mode, mean, the other one, median.
Standardized tests, I've never known what those things
Median is the exact middle point. To find it, we're going to have to list the points in order. So I have a 0, I have 3 1s, I have 4 2s,
It's 2.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3s, and I have a 4. So which one is the middle?
You have
we
2
have 2
zeros.
2 zeros.
And we have
So
2
it doesn't
zeros.
divide evenly.
Okay, so what 2 is it between?
It's gonna be between 2 2s.
We 2 2s.
Alright.
2 2s, I told
So
you.
it's between 2 2s when it's not a particular number, like if there's an odd number of numbers, you will have a middle number. But when it's even, you take the average of these two. So the average of 2 is 2. So the median is 2. I'm going to mark it
How do you
with
find
a
the
big M.
average of a number?
The average.
The average of 2 numbers.
and values divided by number of values.
So that would be 2 plus 2 divided by 2 in that case. And then mode is the number that appears, so this is the middle value. So you have to put them in order to find, so I'll say ordered. First you have to order them and then the middle value. The mode is the number that appears the most often. The value that appears the most. So in this case, it was a 3. So it's rare that the mean, median, mode are the same, but it can happen. So this is the mode. I don't have a symbol for mode. But the mean is actually little m and the median is big M often. All right.
What was the mode? 3?
The mode was the value that appeared the most. You see there are a
Oh,
lot
okay.
more 3s than any other value. All right, so we've done shape, outliers, and center. Now we're at spread. Spread will become more meaningful later in the course, but for now, I just want to know how spread out it is. In other words, what's the range? So I want to go the highest number minus the lowest number. So the highest number that appeared was a 4, the lowest number that appeared was a 0. So the range is, in this case, 4. And that's really all I can think about for spread right now. That will take on a lot more meaning later, but that's good enough for now. All right, so let's look on your handout then for, let's see what other things are on here so we can practice doing describe. So there it is. Well, let's look at the see where it says dice rolls. See there? Dice rolls. All right, it's on your handout on the front. So I'm going to talk about I'm going to say the word describe. So if you would, underneath or above it, wherever you have the most room. So I'm doing the graph that's labeled little a. It's called dice rolls. I want you to describe it the way I trained you with shape, center, outliers, and spread in any order.
So would we say that it has it's bimodal?
Try.
I would not. I would say that one is unimodal.
Wait, why?
It's
For
just
A?
that,
One big
that-
peak.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
peak
you're never-
is so big. The other ones are almost insignificant compared to it.
Okay.
So you do not ignore the slight variations.
Unless another one matched the
Right.
biggest peak,
Yeah.
Most
then
points.
it's
Which way does it
Exactly.
skew?
It doesn't.
Pardon?
Does it not skew?
It's
Okay,
symmetrical.
that one is, we're gonna use
Skewed
the
left.
word, when it's not clearly skewed like that, we're gonna go with symmetric,
Okay.
but we're gonna say roughly symmetric.
Okay.
Take it back seat.
So we're gonna say for shape, roughly symmetric, unimodal. All right, let's do outliers. Any outliers? We'll do socks in order. On A, there are no outliers. But you still you say no outliers. All right, now we talk about center. That would be a big pain to figure out. Let's just do mode. Yeah, because we'd have to count every one of those dots, and it's not worth our time. Their value, we could easily do it, but it'd take too much time. So to find the mean and the median, we're going to skip that, and we're just going to do the mode. The mode is 7. It's the number that appeared the most. And the range from 12 to 2, so the range is 10. Do the same thing for part B, but you can skip the median and the mode. If they ask you to do it for homework, I hope they gave you one that was more doable than these.
So do you want us to find the median and the
Mean?
yeah, for this B?
No.
So is B symmetrical as well?
Yeah, that's
I
a.
call
That's
that.
No, I would say
that
skewed
was
left.
skewed.
If you
Skewed
say skewed left, you're gonna have to say slightly skewed left.
Okay.
See, we can either say roughly symmetrical
Yeah.
or slightly symmetrical.
Yeah, that's where it gets. Some of this almost looks like opinion.
And it's unimodal, correct?
It is unimodal. There's no doubt there. Are you getting an outlier on B?
No.
All right, I agree. No outliers. If someone said 70, I'd say maybe. You'll know for sure one day. And then it's unimodal, and it's slightly skewed to the left, or you can say it's roughly symmetric. I'll take either. The spread